Forgive me again if didn't hear my first couple words or what I was saying in my last episode or this episode, because the service out here is pretty fucking shitty. Excuse my language, but this is an explicit show, and so anybody that's listening that's offended by what I say or what goes on to this show, please feel free to delete and don't come back onto this show again. And forgive me for that too, but just being serious. Anyways, so do you want to make money? Do you have a small business idea? Perhaps maybe you are an entrepreneur, but you do not know where to go. You don't know where to start. You don't know how to get the finances, or perhaps you don't know where to get a loan from to even start the business. Maybe you got the money. Perhaps you know what you want to do, but you don't know where to get started. And now in this podcast, I'm going to tell you some small tips, some small steps that you can take to grow your business, start your business, and eventually get to where you want to be or whatever you want to do in life. And so these are just some general tips. And as I said before, this is an explicit podcast, and if you don't like what I say, please get the fuck off my show. Thank you. Because these are pretty valuable free tips that I give out, and if you go on a lot of the social media, you go on a bunch of other podcasts too, for that matter, they usually require subscriptions or require a monthly donation, or they require you to purchase something before they give off their idea. And, some of their ideas have been around for so long, so the ideas that they give you, and you think you're getting a really good idea, it's actually worthless. And you go attempt to try that idea, you're going to fail, and you're going to fail hardcore. So, knowledge is power. And having knowledge and being willing to give out knowledge is power as well. And if a businessman is successful and he's doing very well for himself or herself, he would want to see other people succeeding as well. And he or she would want to try as much as possible to get whatever business or successful idea that you have to get it started. And so when you go around people like you and me just searching for ways to get out of whatever predicament that they might be in. They could possibly be in a financial situation, they could be in a home situation, they could be in a workplace situation. I've been in those. There's a lot of hostility in certain workplaces that made me want to attempt starting my own businesses, and I had successfully created multiple businesses. I created an online selling business. I'd buy things from pawn shops. Not a lot of people think about this, because usually when you're selling things online, you're not buying anything. You're buying you're buying a website, and you're putting product on there. So what you're doing is drop shipping. You are pretty much starting up a website, and perhaps you're using Teespring or something like it that would create your product and people would buy it off your website. But a lot of businesses have attempted to do that in the past few years when that stuff started coming out. So it's not very successful attempting that right now at this point. But perhaps you have a podcast idea. Perhaps you have a YouTube channel. Perhaps you have music. Perhaps you're recording music and you're using SoundCloud and you're uploading all your music on SoundCloud. And now you're starting to build up a followership because people are actually listening to the shit that you post up on SoundCloud. Okay, so what do you do after you built up a good listenership, you built up a good followership? What do you do next? Because not a lot of shows or people that throw this type of shit in your face tell you the next step. Like, what are you going to do after you get the listeners? What are you going to do after you get the followers? And what they'll try to sell you is just use drop shipping things and put that on your website and people will buy it. No. I mean, it may have worked for them, but not everything that may have worked for you will work for the next person. See, I could be telling you guys to go sell on Amazon, go buy shit from pawn shops, and sell that shit on Amazon. It's not going to work, because the stuff that I was buying was not outdated at the time. So, if you were to start up an Amazon business and start selling, you would have to know your market. You would have to know who you are selling to, and you would have to establish some type of relationship with the businesses that you are purchasing your product with. Because when you're able to go in person and purchase each individual product, you're able to get them, or you're able to negotiate the price. You may get them for a lot cheaper than you would buy it online. Or perhaps you're buying product online and you're getting it cheaper than you would buy it from a store, because you're using the art of, conversation skills. You're able to tell them, I want this product for this price, or I'm walking away. And not a lot of people can negotiate. Not a lot of people have negotiating skills. This is why a lot of people will go into a car dealership thinking that they're going to buy this brand new truck or buy this brand new car for $20,000, $30,000. But in reality is they're not buying a car that's $20,000, $30,000. They're buying they might think they are, but they're not, when the car itself is not really worth that unless you check it. So if you buy something that is brand new off the lot, perhaps it's a 2020 or 2019, perhaps it's a 2018, a lot of businesses will try a shady practice and not tell you all the features that could come with it, or they would try to take away features just so they can make an extra profit off of you. And being able to catch certain things, or being able to notice the small things, which goes back to having a good negotiating skills or talking skills, or just having conversation skills, it really affects how a business is going to make a profit or not make a profit. Because nobody wants to buy a brand new car if it's like 2-3 years old. It's not going to be brand new. It's 2-3 years old. So you don't want to spend $20,000-$30,000 on something that's 2-3 years old. You want to be able to get it for a discounted price since it's that old. And then perhaps you're going to take that car and flip it for more, but You couldn't do that if you bought it at full price. So, when you go start a business, and start whatever it is you want to do. Maybe it's something that I want to do personally. I know I shouldn't say this, but honestly, you could you can record a bunch of songs, or you can record a bunch of YouTube videos, okay? Post them on whatever platform that you use. Now that you got your platform, you got your music, you got your videos, whatever. Now, cut your video, cut your music, perhaps give them just a little taste of how good your product is, or how good your video is, or how good your podcast is, or how good your music is, or how good your food is, or whatever. Give them a little taste. Because giving them just a little taste will make them want to come back for more and more and more. And if you're trying to pitch something from a far away distance, it's not going to work out. Unless you're doing music or videos or podcasting or broadcasting or whatever. It's going to work out a lot more because you're building your brand, you're getting followers, and people are starting to trust you. You can start pushing your brand or your product, or you can start charging a monthly membership. Because people that click your video, click your show, listen to your show, or listen to your music, they like it, they want more of it, but they can't get more of it because you have it on lockdown. When you have it on lockdown, you can send out just little bit at a time, each and every month, and that's how you would get a monthly subscription of all your followers and listeners or whatever. I know it's not a very good practice, but if you have this really awesome idea but you don't know where to get started, that's what most businesses do. That's what most people do. They'll give you a taste of something, and perhaps they'll give you a taste of how good their customer service is, or perhaps they'll give you free product to tell you to come back to the store next time. It's the same practice, only a different way of doing it. Anyways, I did not expect to do this show for 15 minutes long, but I actually had a really good time talking about making money. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to just say something, send me a message. I might have gone off topic a couple times, but I'm trying to stay on topic without a script. So everything that came on the show is not from a script. So this is me, truly me. So anyways, have a great day, Merry Christmas, and prepare for more awesome podcasts later on, and tell your friends. Yep.